Red Seal Plumbing IP Questions Practice and Answers 2026. Flashcard 1. Trap arms and fixture drains are to be installed with roughly how much of an inch downward slope for every foot of trap arm length? A. Half B. 7/8 C. 3/4 D. 1/4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 1/4. Flashcard 2. What can put a great deal of stress on your neck, shoulders, back, and legs when lifting heavy objects? A. Bending your knees when lifting heavy objects. B. Keeping your knees straight and bending keeping your back straight. C. Not bending at your knees and keeping your back straight. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Not bending at your knees and keeping your back straight. Flashcard 3. The propane storage and handling code is A. B149.2-V. B. B148.1-V. C. B149.1-V. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. B149.2-V. Flashcard 4. The wires of a thermostat are wired to terminals A. RYDB, RWGC, WYGD, WGCOM. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is V. RWG. Flashcard 5. Where is the ideal location for a circulator pump installed in a hot water heating system? A. On the supply after the zone valve. B. On the supply before the expansion tank. C. On the supply after the expansion tank. D. On the return close to the boiler. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. On the supply after the expansion tank. Flashcard 6. A toilet seat used in a public washroom must be A. Coverless type. B. Round type. C. Plastic non-permeable type. D. Elongated open front type. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Elongated open front type. Flashcard 7. The most common physical characteristics used to measure the quality of water are temperature, taste, color, odor, and what? A. Turbidity. B. Flow. C. Grains. D. Bacteria. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Turbidity. Flashcard 8. What is the possible consequence if you perform infection control procedures incorrectly and a client becomes infected or harmed? A. You may receive jail time if found guilty of negligence. B. You will have to perform community service hours. C. You may be found legally responsible for their injuries or infection. D. You will be fined $150,000. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. You may receive jail time if found guilty of negligence. Flashcard 9. When using grooved pipe from one manufacturer, the fittings from another manufacturer may be used. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 10. A settlement loop is installed in water distribution lines that are blank inches or less. A. 2B. 3C. 5D. 4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 2. Flashcard 11. Which of the following must the base of every soil or waste stack contain? A. Building drain. B. Floor drain. C. Cleanout and expansion joint. D. Tie. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. A cleanout and expansion joint. Flashcard 12. Where would an oil interceptor most likely be found? A. Commercial kitchen. B. Laundromat. C. Dry cleaning plant. D. Car wash. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Dry cleaning plant. Flashcard 13. A water purveyor has the primary responsibility of A. Ensuring safe removal of sewer waste. B. Ensuring potable water is handled safely within a consumer's residence. C. Providing the public with a safe and potable water supply. D. Purifying all water sources. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Providing the public with a safe and potable water supply. Flashcard 14. A 1-inch water service to a building may have a blank valve as the shutoff valve for the building. A. Backflow. B. Separate drain. C. Stop and drain. D. Ballcock. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Stop and drain. Flashcard 15. An air conditioner that discharges 0.05 L/s of condensate into a floor drain would equate to how many fixture units? A. 2B. 1C. 5D. 11. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 2. Flashcard 16. After the inspection of a hot water heating system shows that the system pressure is in excess of the designed operating pressure, which device will cause this problem? A. Pressure relief valve. B. Water feed valve. C. Circulator. D. Outdoor compensator. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Water feed valve. Flashcard 17. The state in which matter exists can be influenced by these two factors. A. Volume and weight. B. Pressure and weight. C. Temperature and pressure. D. Hot and cold. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Temperature and pressure. Flashcard 18. If the zone valve drive motor fails to operate, the plumber must A. Recalibrate the heat anticipator. B. Add glycol to the system. C. Replace the defective motor. D. Increase the system pressure. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Replace the defective motor. Flashcard 19. A 120-volt hot surface igniter can reach temperatures up to blank FA. 1800 B. 3100 C. 2600 D. 1200. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 2,600. Flashcard 20. Which of the following best describes an electric water heater? A. Direct fired. B. One with an immersion type element. C. Instantaneous. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. One with an immersion type element. Flashcard 21. If two of your colleagues are having a dispute, the best thing for you to do is A. Pick a side. B. Take it personally. C. Encourage the argument. D. Remain neutral. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Remain neutral. Flashcard 22. When calculating the required infiltration area for a disposal field, it is recommended to use worksheet blank to assist with the calculations. A. FB. EC. HD. B. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. F. Flashcard 23. A trap arm that does not use siphonic action may change direction in a horizontal plane by up to blank degrees between the fixture and the vent fitting. A. 135 B. 150 C. 175 D. 200. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 135. Flashcard 24. The suction pipe from the well to the house should be installed at a slash and blank slope. A. Upward. B. Level. C. Downward. D. Negative. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Upward. Flashcard 25. The maximum filling density of any propane container must never exceed blank % of the water capacity stamped on the container. A. 97B. 80C. 42D. 56. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 42. Flashcard 26. When installing a private water supply system, a qualified blank should complete all wiring terminations. A. Welder. B. Inspector. C. Plumber. D. Electrician. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Electrician. Flashcard 27. If a wood range is to be converted to a gas range, certain adjustments must be made. One major adjustment is the A. Burner control valve must be made inaccessible. B. Replacement of manual dampers with barometric dampers. C. Fact that this cannot be done according to code. D. Vent must be increased to a minimum of 6 inches. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Replacement of manual dampers with barometric dampers. Flashcard 28. Which of the following describes a pipe wrench? A. It has serrated jaws. B. Used to grip flat-sided objects. C. Used when piping runs are too close together. D. Used for tightening valves and hexagonal items. E. Used on polished and special finished. F. Useful for odd-sized nuts. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. It has serrated jaws. Flashcard 29. When an eye is properly formed in a wire rope with the use of a thimble, the eye will have approximately blank percent. A. 50B, 80C, 90D, 75. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. AD. Flashcard 30. A fixture drain of the individual fixture that is not piped through one complete story is referred to as A. Trap arm B, stack vent C, fixture drain D. Back vent. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Fixture drain. Flashcard 31. Fixtures that are not part of a wet vent group may connect to the wet vent branch, and the hydraulic load going into the vent does not have to be included in the wet vent. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 32. When calculating the fixture unit load of a residence, a 2-inch main floor drain is considered to be blank fixture units A. 1.5B, 4C, 3D, 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 2. Flashcard 33. The common name for sodium carbonate is blank. A. Grain B, sodash C, oxidation D, flocculation. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Sodash. Flashcard 34. Which of the following will have the lowest supply pressure? A. Propane B, manufactured gas C, natural gas D, butane gas. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Manufactured gas. Flashcard 35. When a series of water treatment devices are required for a water treatment system, the water softener is always located blank in the series. A. First B, immediately after the chlorinator C, as convenient D, last. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Last. Flashcard 36. Which table should be consulted to determine cleanout size and spacing? A. 2.4.9.3b, 2.4.7.2c, 2.1.10.2d, 2.4.7.1. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 2.4.7.2. Flashcard 37. Which water system may not provide adequate pressure for upper floors of a building? A. Forced system B, gravity feed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Forced system. Flashcard 38. Oversizing a boiler could result in A cooling of the controlled space B, the temperature dropping below the set point C, not enough heat for the residence D, the boiler cycling on and off more frequently. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. The boiler cycling on and off more frequently. Flashcard 39. A 20-inch high and 32-inch long convector wall unit that has 65 degrees Fahrenheit entering air temperature and hot water at 215 degrees Fahrenheit will have an MBH rating of A. 8.6 B, 6.6 C, 7.6 D, 4.4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 7.6. Flashcard 40. A blank is a device that replaces the pressure tank and pressure switch on a private water supply system. A. Bladder tank. B. Pressure cell. C. Elastic cell. D. Mass control. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Mass control. Flashcard 41. If 1/2-inch PX tubing is used in a radiant heating system, the manufacturer recommends a maximum length of blank feet. A. 400 B, 100 C, 200 D, 300. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 300. Flashcard 42. A cast iron boiler will have its heat exchanger constructed of A. Copper. B. Cast iron. C. Steel. D. Stainless steel. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Cast iron. Flashcard 43. Over-tightening the bolts on a water closet during installation could result in A. The bolts bending. B. The bowl or tank breaking from stress. C. The wax seal not sealing properly. D. Severe difficulty when trying to remove them. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. The bowl or tank breaking from stress. Flashcard 44. Which of the following best describes a dual check valve backflow preventer? A. Installed at the spout outlet. B. Used in heating applications where the hazards are minor or moderate. C. Protects from back siphonage and not designed for continuous use. D. Used when a hazard is minor in a residential application. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Used when a hazard is minor in a residential application. Flashcard 45. The safety device built into an acetylene cylinder is A. A relief valve. B. A fusible link. C. A double-seated valve. D. There are none. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. A fusible link. Flashcard 46. Gas room heaters installed in hallways in homes for the elderly. A. May be unvented. B. Must be vented type. C. Should have a projecting flue box. D. Should not have a projecting flue box. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Must be vented type. Flashcard 47. A double TY can be used for connection of two back outlet water closets in a back-to-back installation. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 48. How many main categories of check valves are there? A. 5B, 4C, 3D, 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3. Flashcard 49. The rule of thumb ROT vent sizing may only be used to determine the vent sizing for A. Appliances equipped with draft hoods. B. All of the above. C. Fan-assisted furnaces. D. Draft hood-equipped unit heaters. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. All of the above. Flashcard 50. Thermally operated dampers are constructed so that the damper falls closed if the bimetal fails. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 51. Which of the following best describes a relay coil? A. When energized, it activates contacts to either open or close. B. A device used to isolate instrument transformers. C. A low-impedance device used to verify that a mechanical action has been completed. D. An electronic module that transfers input data. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. When energized, it activates contacts to either open or close. Flashcard 52. Nominally vertical means an angle not more than blank degrees of the vertical. A. 22.5 B, 45 C, 11.25 D, 60. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 45. Flashcard 53. If 800 ft of piping weighs 1,000 pounds, 180 ft of piping would weigh A. 235 pounds. B. 245 pounds. C. 216 pounds. D. 225 pounds. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 225 pounds. Flashcard 54. If a pipe wrench fails to operate with normal ratchet-like action, it is likely the spring is worn out. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 55. 1-inch medical gas piping that is run vertically must be supported at least every blank MA. 3.0 B, 1.8 C, 4.2 D, 2.4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 2.4. Flashcard 56. What device is used to measure flue gas temperature? A. Pyrometer. B. Dragger tube. C. Draft tube. D. Micrometer. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Pyrometer. Flashcard 57. What is the problem with a thermostat if the heating system cycles too often? A. There is a break in the wiring to the thermostat. B. Contacts are dirty. C. The wrong voltage thermostat is installed. D. The thermostat is exposed to direct sunlight or a heat source. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. The thermostat is exposed to direct sunlight or a heat source. Flashcard 58. A double compartment kitchen sink is being replaced with a triple compartment kitchen sink. What drainage changes are necessary to complete the installation? A. Fixture outlet length cannot be less than 1.2 mb. The fixture trap and fixture drain is to be one pipe size larger than largest sink outlet C. The garbage grinder must be installed in the middle compartment D. Another plumbing trap and vent is required for the extra sink. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. The fixture trap and fixture drain is to be one pipe size larger than largest sink outlet. Flashcard 59. Which of the following is the minimum size of a cleanout needed on a 6 sanitary building drainage main cleanout? A. 5 in B, 2 in C, 6 in D, 4 in. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 4 in. Flashcard 60. What is required to activate an electronically controlled water on/off device for a sink? A. A timer activates the fixture B. A motion switch turns on the fixture C. A beam of light is interrupted D. A user touches the fixture. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. A beam of light is interrupted. Flashcard 61. If a backwater valve is installed in a building drain, it must be A. Normally open, B. Normally closed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Normally open. Flashcard 62. Water heaters, hose bibs, and silk cocks are normally protected from backflow with A. An air brake, B. An air gap, C. RPBPD. A vacuum breaker. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. A vacuum breaker. Flashcard 63. An aquastat on a hot water system will open when A. There is an electrical short circuit, B. High maximum temperature is reached, C. Enough hot water is available, D. Water pressure is too high. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. High maximum temperature is reached. Flashcard 64. Due to water pressure and sudden changes in water velocity, it is imperative that blank be installed at every point where the water distribution pipe changes direction or elevation. A. Air relief valves, B. Thrust blocks, C. Flexible seals, D. Asbestos cement. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Thrust blocks. Flashcard 65. What is a document that outlines all the duties and responsibilities of a particular position? A. Job posting, B. Job description, C. Job transcript, D. Contract. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Job description. Flashcard 66. Which of the following best describes a fuse? A. A thermal, non-conductive device that opens on voltage fluctuations, B. A device that interrupts current at a certain set value, C. A type of solenoid activated by a temperature sensing device, D. A magnetic coil that monitors motor heating. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. A device that interrupts current at a certain set value. Flashcard 67. What is the included point angle of a twist drill? A. 90 degrees. B. 118 degrees, 120 degrees, 132 degrees. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 118 degrees. Flashcard 68. When the floor area is sprinklered, which of the following is not an acceptable way of venting smoke? A. Openable windows. B. Building exhaust system. C. Fixed glass windows. D. Smoke shafts. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Fixed glass windows. Flashcard 69. What minimum depth in mm should drainage pipe be buried? A. 400. B. 350. C. 300. D. 450. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 300. Flashcard 70. What is required when installing a deep well jet pump? A. Foot valve is required on the jet suction line. B. Modulating valve is required on the pump suction line. C. Relief valve is required with centrifugal jet pumps. D. Check valve is required on the pump discharge. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Foot valve is required on the jet suction line. Flashcard 71. What piping arrangement would ensure that domestic hot water is readily available to a plumbing fixture? A. Parallel piping loop on the water system. B. Recirculation line on the water system. C. Mixing valve piped with hot and cold water. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Recirculation line on the water system. Flashcard 72. If you found that you have a standing pressure of 7 inches WC and an operating pressure of 5.9 inches WC, then A. The regulator needs to be replaced. B. The gas line has been oversized. C. It is acceptable. D. The gas line is undersized. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. The gas line is undersized. Flashcard 73. The 120-volt power supply for a humidifier can be supplied by connecting to blank contacts on the electronic control board. A. L1 and L2. B. R and GC. R and YD. HTG AC and CALM. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. HTG AC and CALM. Flashcard 74. A branch with 34 fixture units discharges into a sewage sump. What is the minimum size vent required for the sump? A. 2B. 1.5C. 3D. 4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3. Flashcard 75. The following device can be used to prevent backflow into a potable water system. A. Double check valve assembly. DCVAB. Reduced pressure principal assembly. RPC. Pressure vacuum breaker. PVBD. All of the above. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. All of the above. Flashcard 76. If a kitchen sink in a single-family dwelling unit is individually vented, it requires a vent pipe that is blank inches. A. 2.25 b. 2c. 1.25 d. 1.5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 1.25. Flashcard 77. The heat exchanger in a mid-efficiency furnace is intended to transfer heat from the A. circulating air to the room air B. combustion chamber to the cold air return C. combustion chamber to the circulating air D. cold air return to the combustion chamber. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. combustion chamber to the circulating air. Flashcard 78. When using a U-tube meniscus, the pressure is measured by A. reading the value on the left side of the meter B. reading the value of the right side of the meter C. calculating the difference between the levels on either side D. calculating the distance from the zero mark to the liquid level. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. calculating the difference between the levels on either side. Flashcard 79. When sizing water lines, it should be considered that a half of the fixtures will be on B. All the fixtures will be on C. 3/4 of the fixtures will be on D. Water lines should be sized for 1.5 times the fixture unit total. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. All the fixtures will be on. Flashcard 80. When performing a hot tapping operation, it is recommended to be prepared to shut down the pressurized piping system in case an unsafe situation occurs. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 81. An appliance has a high altitude rating for 4,500 feet above sea level. For every additional 1,000 feet above the 4,500 feet above sea level, the input rating of the appliance must be derated by blank percent. A. 10B. 6C. 8D. 4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 4. Flashcard 82. When installing automatic air vents on a hot water heating system, you must make sure that it is A. must be installed so it is inaccessible B. located on the highest point in the system C. mounted in a horizontal position D. directly in line with the water. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. located on the highest point in the system. Flashcard 83. When installing gang showers, the shower heads must be blank inches apart. A. 35B. 30C. 45D. 40. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 30. Flashcard 84. A roof where people can go and do such things as suntanning must have its vent terminal at least blank meter S above the roof. A. 0.5B. 1.0C. 2.0D. 1.5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 2.0. Flashcard 85. An underground water-bearing strata that is capable of yielding a supply of water is the definition of a slash and blank A. Aquifer B. Submergence C. Turbidity D. Annulus. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Aquifer. Flashcard 86. What material are the majority of twist drills made from? A. High-speed steel B. O1 tool steel C. Ceramics D. Cubic boron nitride. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. High-speed steel. Flashcard 87. Where would a floor-mounted hydronic cooling convector be located in a room? A. On the wall with the highest heat gain B. On the floor with the highest heat gain C. On the wall with the lowest heat gain D. Near the occupied area of the room. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. On the wall with the highest heat gain. Flashcard 88. The pressure system of a private water supply system should provide a volume of flow at least equal to the size of the water pump B, 2 times the peak demand C, the size of the pressure tank D, the peak demand. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. The peak demand. Flashcard 89. Which of the following does streptococci cause? A. Pneumonia B. Tetanus C. Strep throat and blood poisoning D. Abscesses, pustules, and boils. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Strep throat and blood poisoning. Flashcard 90. What type of plastic pipe is used for distilled water and deionized water systems? A. Polybutylene B. Pigmented polypropylene C. Unpigmented polypropylene D. Glazed crosslink polyethylene. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Unpigmented polypropylene. Flashcard 91. Which of the following describes reduced pressure fall off? A. The change in the reduced flow pressure below the no flow pressure required to open the valve B. The pressure maintained in a system by a reducing valve when no water is flowing C. And a current created only with the parallel pressure reducing valve installation D. The pressure maintained by the valve when water is flowing. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. The change in the reduced flow pressure below the no flow pressure required to open the valve. Flashcard 92. At what angle is the point on a center punch ground? A. 90 degrees B. 60 degrees C. 120 degrees D. 100 degrees. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 90 degrees. Flashcard 93. Which of the following is not a type of pressure tank used on private water supply systems? A. Spinning disc B. Diaphragm C. Floating disc D. Bladder. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Spinning disc. Flashcard 94. Which of the following best describes the term rainwater leaders? A. A vertical portion of a pipe that comes off the eave trough. B. A device used for checking water flow in a gravity drainage system. C. A vertical rainwater pipe often connected to a downspout. D. An exterior channel installed at the base of a sloped roof to convey storm water. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. A vertical rainwater pipe often connected to a downspout. Flashcard 95. On propane 2-SI residential system, the system regulator must be installed within blank meters of the exterior wall if it is installed outdoors. A. 4B. 1C. 2D. 3. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 1. Flashcard 96. What is the minimum trap size of a bidet? A. 2B. 2.25C. 1.5D. 1.25. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 1.25. Flashcard 97. Wash basins in a female public washroom should be A. Barrier-free, accessible in all cases. B. Not visible from the entrance to the room in all cases. C. Provided with shut-off valves installed on the water supply to the fixture. D. Equal to the number of required water closets in the washroom. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Provided with shut-off valves installed on the water supply to the fixture. Flashcard 98. As piping in a hot water system drops, it is important to install a blank before the piping drops. A. Lock shield valve. B. High point vent. C. Zone valve. D. Branch offset. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. High point vent. Flashcard 99. In some cases, piping can rise to a sufficient high level to prevent back siphonage. A piping that rises at least 35 feet above the highest fixture it supplies is an example of the A. Check valve. B. Barometric loop. C. Area isolation. D. Back siphonage preventer. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Barometric loop. Flashcard 100. A multiple impeller pump design is used to increase the blank of the water leaving the pump. A. Velocity. B. Temperature. C. Pressure. D. Flow. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Pressure. Flashcard 101. Which meter will be damaged when used on an energized circuit? A. A voltmeter. B. An ammeter. C. A wattmeter. D. An ohmmeter. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. An ohmmeter. Flashcard 102. What should you show your employees and clients, providing them with peace of mind and confidence in your ability to protect them from infection and disease? A. Sanitizers. B. Logbook. C. Portfolio. D. Schedule. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Logbook. Flashcard 103. Which of the following is classified as a severe degree of hazard for cross-connection of bathtub B? Aspirators C. Heating system D. Car wash. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Car wash. Flashcard 104. The destructive disintegration of a metal by electrochemical means is called blank A. Corrosion B. Disinfecting C. Hardness D. Fouling. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Corrosion. Flashcard 105. A booster pump on a high-rise building operates when there is A. A drop in street pressure B. No demand on the building system C. Unusually high street pressure D. High demand on the building system. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. High demand on the building system. Flashcard 106. A private water-supplied cistern is fitted with a 3/4 makeup water pipe supplied by a municipal system. What size air gap would be required? A. 3/4 B. 1.5 C. 1 D. 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 1.5. Flashcard 107. Which is not a hot water heating piping system? A 2-pipe direct return B. 1-pipe gravity return C. Series loop D. 2-pipe reverse return. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 1-pipe gravity return. Flashcard 108. HWT is a common abbreviation for A. Holding water tank B. Heat, water, temperature C. Hot water faucet D. Water heater. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Water heater. Flashcard 109. Which article or subsection of the NPC deals expansion and contraction? A. 2.3.5 B. 2.3.3.9 C. 2.4.7 D. 2.4.6. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 2.3.3.9. Flashcard 110. When using a clamp-on ammeter to measure the current draw of a pump motor, the clamp must only be around one conductor. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 111. A drain valve should be installed on a meter bypass installation when the service exceeds blank inch trade size. A. 2B. 2.5 C. 3D. 1. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 1. Flashcard 112. When the building drain BD is located below the level of the adjoining street, which device is installed inside the building? A. A backflow preventer on the surface B. A normally closed backwater valve on the BDC. A normally open backwater valve on the weeping tile D. A normally open backwater valve on the BD. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. A normally open backwater valve on the BD. Flashcard 113. When calculating the required infiltration area for a disposal field, it is recommended to use worksheet blank to assist with the calculations. A. BB. EC. FD. H. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. F. Flashcard 114. When using a direct flush valve on a urinal, it must be at least blank inch. A. 5/8B. 1/2C. 3/4D. 1. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3/4. Flashcard 115. A twin-tank water softener will house the brine in one tank and the other tank will house the A. green sand B. zeolite C. activated carbon D. soda ash. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. zeolite. Flashcard 116. What is the term used to indicate that soft metal has become trapped in the teeth of a file? A. The file is blocked B. The file is wedged C. The file is pinned D. The file is clogged. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. The file is pinned. Flashcard 117. What is the minimum drain size for a toilet? A. 2.5B. 2C. 3D. 4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3. Flashcard 118. The septic chamber that retains raw sewage will allow the contents to separate into 3 levels. The middle level of liquid is called blank. A. Scum B. Bilge C. Effluent D. Sludge. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Effluent. Flashcard 119. What is capable of destroying fungi? A. Asymptomatic B. Efficacy C. Fungicidal D. Flagella. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Fungicidal. Flashcard 120. What type of trap is not permitted in a drainage system? A. P-trap B. Bell trap C. S-trap standard D. Drum trap. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is V. Bell trap. Flashcard 121. Spray heads used on residential irrigation systems generally operate on water pressure of blank psi A. 3045 B. Higher than 60 C. 4560 D. 1530. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 1530. Flashcard 122. How is movement corrected or avoided due to thermal expansion? A. Using heavier pipe B. Installing fewer fittings C. Building expansion loops D. Suspending piping at least 1 meter below joists. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Building expansion loops. Flashcard 123. An alternate way to relieve pressure from a water heater is to use an auxiliary thermal expansion relief valve set for a pressure of blank psi A. 120B, 100C, 80D, 65. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 80. Flashcard 124. Which of the following do not properly clean or disinfect equipment? A. Water sanitizers. B. Bleach. C. Quaternary ammonium compounds. D. Phenolic disinfectants. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Water sanitizers. Flashcard 125. It is not possible to dual vent dissimilar fixtures. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 126. Soft copper tubing is available in A. Large diameters. B. Small diameters. C. Straight links. D. Coils. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Coils. Flashcard 127. 15 cubic feet of natural gas will generate blank BTU A. 150,000 B. 15 C. 1,500 D. 15,000. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 15,000. Flashcard 128. When using a compressed air drain cleaner to clear a drain blockage, the blockage must be A. Upstream from the fixture vent. B. In the vent line. C. Downstream from the fixture vent. D. Less than half the diameter of the vent line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Upstream from the fixture vent. Flashcard 129. Which of the following pump voltages will provide more energy efficiency? A. 220 line voltage. B. 120 static voltage. C. 240 static voltage. D. 110 line voltage. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 220 line voltage. Flashcard 130. What is based on inner strength and begins with trusting your ability to achieve your goals? A. Behaviors. B. Strength. C. Success. D. Self-esteem. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Self-esteem. Flashcard 131. What is hard water? A. Natural water with dissolved minerals. B. Natural water with no dissolved minerals. C. Processed water with no dissolved minerals. D. Natural salt minerals. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Natural water with dissolved minerals. Flashcard 132. When using the explosive actuated tool process with concrete, the fasteners should not be closer than blank mm from another fastener. A. 90 B. 175 C. 75 D. 60. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 75. Flashcard 133. What is the correct installation of a thermal bulb aquostat proportional controller on a chilled water system? A. Mount the bulb on the coolest surface of the chiller. B. Install in a thermal well with conductive paste. C. Strap the bulb on the cooling supply line. D. Install directly into a tapped T connection. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Install in a thermal well with conductive paste. Flashcard 134. When roughing in for a domestic water closet, the flange should be installed mm to the center from the finished wall. A. 350 B. 250 C. 400 D. 300. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 300. Flashcard 135. When determining the correct size of an interceptor, it is necessary to calculate the blank of the interceptor. A. Flow rate. B. Depth. C. Volume. D. Length. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Flow rate. Flashcard 136. A single fan assist appliance can be vented into a masonry chimney. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 137. Which of the following is considered to be the best method for connecting an indirect waste to a sanitary drainage system? A. Air brake. B. None of the above. C. Air gap. D. Both A and B are equal. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Air gap. Flashcard 138. Which of the following requires cold water for proper operation? A. Garbage grinders. B. Dishwashers. C. Clothes washers. D. Surface sinks. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Garbage grinders. Flashcard 139. Which is not a state regulatory agency? A. Licensing agencies. B. OSHA. C. Health departments. D. Commissions. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. OSHA. Flashcard 140. What is the maximum hydraulic load for a fixture unit connected with 1.5-inch pipe? A. 2B. 8C. 5D. 1. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 2. Flashcard 141. Water that has a dissolved mineral content of 181 mg/L would be deemed A. Soft. B. Very hard. C. Moderately hard. D. Hard. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Very hard. Flashcard 142. Silver soldering uses temperatures above blank F? A. 400 B. 1000 C. 325 D. 575. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 1000. Flashcard 143. The sum of gauge pressure and atmospheric pressure is a psi BC a CPSGAD sig. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is BCA. Flashcard 144. When laying out a gasket for an 8-hole flange, what is the angle used to determine the bolt hole spacing? A. 45 degrees B. 30 degrees C. 22.5 degrees D. 90 degrees. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 45 degrees. Flashcard 145. All explosive actuated tool power load strengths are coded utilizing a standardized blank level system. A. 14B. 6E. 12D. 10. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 12. Flashcard 146. Which fixtures and appliances must be installed with a shutoff valve in a public building? A. All fixtures and appliances. B. Kitchen sink, water closet, and hot water tank only. C. Water closets only. D. Water closet, hot water tank, and lawn service only. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. All fixtures and appliances. Flashcard 147. How many GPG does soft water have? A. Less than 1 GPG. B. 1-2 GPG. C. 7-9 GPG. D. 2-3 GPG. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Less than 1 GPG. Flashcard 148. Which of the following describes a face when referring to a file? A. The narrow section. B. The part which the file is fitted. C. The handle. D. The portion where the teeth are cut. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. The portion where the teeth are cut. Flashcard 149. Cast iron is generally defined as iron with a blank quantity of carbon in it. A. Low. B. Medium. C. Large. D. It has no carbon content. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Large. Flashcard 150. Which plumbing item would be installed immediately downstream of an interceptor? A. Vent pipe. B. Flow control orifice. C. Clean out fitting. D. Enzyme injection point. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Clean out fitting. Flashcard 151. What is a function of oxygen and acetylene regulators? A. They increase cylinder pressure. B. They control the working pressure. C. They keep gases separate. D. They mix gases for combustion. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. They control the working pressure. Flashcard 152. When you wear clothing that is clean and fresh, You're practicing good what? A. Personal hygiene. B. Personal grooming. C. Professional behavior. D. Body odor. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Personal grooming. Flashcard 153. Which garbage grinder has an internal switch that is activated when the sink stop or combination actuator is put in place? A. Continuous feed. B. Batch feed. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Batch feed. Flashcard 154. What are written by both federal and state legislatures that determine the scope of practice? A. Laws. B. Guidelines. C. Rules. D. Regulations. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Laws. Flashcard 155. The two plumbing systems in a house are A. Water supply and WDVB. Water supply and DWVC. Water supply and VWD. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Water supply and DWV. Flashcard 156. Copper pipe has a blank percent greater carrying capacity than steel or iron pipe. A. 30%. B. 20%. C. 50%. D. 40%. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is 20%. Flashcard 157. What force would be exerted on the gate of a closed 6-gate valve if the water pressure acting on it measured 46 sig? A. 2604. B. 867 C. 1300 D. 5202. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 1300. Flashcard 158. A slash and blank is a positively charged ion in solution. A. Base. B. Cation. C. Anion. D. Acid. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Cation. Flashcard 159. The minimum working pressure for propane cylinder is blank sig. A. 125. B. 260 C. 240 D. 100. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 240. Flashcard 160. Electrolysis is a damaging force that can occur when these two metals come into contact. A. Ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. B. Dielectric fittings and copper piping. C. Copper and plastic pipe. D. Steel and cast iron. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. Flashcard 161. The septic chamber contains blank bacteria that assist in the breakdown of the sewage. A. Aerobic. B. Hydrogen. C. Anaerobic. D. Sulfur. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Anaerobic. Flashcard 162. The main types of interceptors are designed to collect A. Grease B. All of the above C. Oil D. Soils. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. All of the above. Flashcard 163. Thermal pipe movement can be accommodated by A. All of the above are correct. B. Using the slip type expansion joint. C. Changes in piping direction to allow offset and loops. D. The installation of a mechanical joint. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. All of the above are correct. Flashcard 164. Where is a non-slam check valve used or placed? A. On pipelines that use gate valves. B. On piping systems using a glow pattern. C. Bolted between two flanges. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Bolted between two flanges. Flashcard 165. What device controls the intervals at which effluent is discharged to a gravity-fed distribution field? A. Bell and siphon. B. Pump control valve. C. Effluent diverter valve. D. Float switch. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Bell and siphon. Flashcard 166. Trapping is required if the rainwater pipe is connected to a separate storm drain. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 167. An outside fresh air supply must be installed at least blank inches above finished grade level. A. 12B. 6C. 24D. 18. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 12. Flashcard 168. Which of the following best describes a mid-efficient furnace? A. Has an additional heat exchanger that causes cooling of the flue gases to the point where the water vapor condenses. B. Has a narrowed heat exchanger, added passages to slow the flue gas, and has no draft hood. C. Gas flows through the heat exchanger quickly and retains a large amount of heat. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Has a narrowed heat exchanger, added passages to slow the flue gas, and has no draft hood. Flashcard 169. The presence of water inside a fixture or on the floor around a trap is evidence that blank has occurred. A. Siphonage. B. Back pressure. C. Capillary action. D. Evaporation. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Back pressure. Flashcard 170. What is your personal hygiene reflected through? A. Your posture, as well as the way you walk. B. The way you project your outward appearance and you conduct in the workplace. C. Your dedication of protecting your clients from bacteria. D. Your daily maintenance of cleanliness by practicing good healthful habits. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Your daily maintenance of cleanliness by practicing good healthful habits. Flashcard 171. The National Plumbing Code of Canada prohibits the use of the blank trap. A. SB. YC. UD. P. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. S. Flashcard 172. Which table from the National Plumbing Code is used to determine the size of a storm building sewer? A. 2.4.10.6 BB, 2.4.10.6 AC, 2.4.10.6 CD, 2.4.10.9. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 2.4.10.9. Flashcard 173. A venting pipe that passes through one complete story is called A. Fixture outlet pipe B. Roof terminal C. Trap D. Stack. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Stack. Flashcard 174. In a flame rectification system, it is critical that areas of the electrodes exposed to the flame be at least blank to 1 ground to flame rod area. A. 6B, 5C, 3D, 4. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 4. Flashcard 175. A 4-wire zone valve is wired to A. Thermostat, transformer, and switches B. Transformer, high limit, motor, circulator C. Thermostat, transformer, high limit, motor D. Thermostat, transformer. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Thermostat, transformer, and switches. Flashcard 176. In general, the rough and measurements from the center line of the water closet outlet to the finished wall will be blank inches. A. 18B, 12C, 16D, 24. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 12. Flashcard 177. Polypropylene pipe is used specifically for A. Hot water heating systems B. Natural gas or propane service line C. Laboratory drain applications D. Water distribution systems. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Laboratory drain applications. Flashcard 178. The corrosive effects of blank in a system can cause pitting in a pipeline. A. Nitrogen B, carbon C, silicon D, oxygen. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Oxygen. Flashcard 179. When using a Model T 60T drill on a 1-inch copper tube, high speed is used for blank A. Forming B. Welding C. Connecting D. Drilling. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Drilling. Flashcard 180. A drainage pipe serving a drinking fountain must be which of the following? A. Should have a diameter not less than 1.75 inches B. Should be trapped C. Directly connected to a sanitary drainage system. D. Indirectly connected to a sanitary drainage system. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Indirectly connected to a sanitary drainage system. Flashcard 181. Which of the following is the correct minimum size of a fresh air inlet for a building trap? A. 2B. 4C. 1.5D. 3. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 4. Flashcard 182. Most tank-type water treatment filters work on a blank flow system during the filtering sequence. A. Up B. Cross C. Down D. Over. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Down. Flashcard 183. How would you increase the length of flush on a flushometer? A. Throttle the stop valve. B. Turn regulating screw clockwise. C. Turn regulating screw counterclockwise. D. Remove vacuum breaker. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Turn regulating screw clockwise. Flashcard 184. The water closet bowl that has a deep trap seal and a jet opening in the fixture trap outlet is called the blank bowl. A. Washdown. B. Reverse trap. C. Siphon jet. D. Blowout. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Siphon jet. Flashcard 185. When water pressure exceeds blank kPa, a pressure-reducing valve should be installed. A. 550 B. 150 C. 660 D. AD. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 550. Flashcard 186. At what pressure does water enter in a residential property? A. 50-60 side. B. 100-120 side. C. 60-70 side. D. 20-30 side. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 50-60 side. Flashcard 187. What equipment is required if coliforms are detected in a water system? A. Multimedia filter. B. Water softener. C. Chlorinator. D. Manganese greensand filter. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Chlorinator. Flashcard 188. A laboratory sink that receives biohazardous waste must be installed with A. Backwater valve. B. Interceptor for organic waste. C. Cleanout above the flood level rim. D. Check valve. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Cleanout above the flood level rim. Flashcard 189. What sling configuration would be rated with the most capacity for a lifting procedure? A. Sling vertical leg. B. Basket sling with 2 vertical legs. C. Choker with single vertical leg. D. Basket sling with 2 inclined vertical legs. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Basket sling with 2 inclined vertical legs. Flashcard 190. When troubleshooting a mid-efficiency furnace, the most useful tool is A. The LED diagnostic chart. B. The National Plumbing Code. C. A wiring diagram. D. An ammeter. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. The LED diagnostic chart. Flashcard 191. Galvanic action is also called A. Meniscus. B. Rust proofing. C. Electrolysis. D. Capillary action. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Electrolysis. Flashcard 192. Copper tube is not allowed to serve as a waste or vent for a flush valve-operated urinal below the flood level rim. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 193. A pipe supported through a clevis hanger from a steel I-beam would use a blank attached to the steel. A. None of the above. B. Pre-drilled. C. C-clamp. D. Perforated strap. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. None of the above. Flashcard 194. All medical gas distribution systems must be installed with a A. High-pressure shutdown valve. B. Backup reserve supply. C. Automatic low shut-off valve. D. Automatic shut-off valve. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Backup reserve supply. Flashcard 195. Which valve consists of 2 spring-loaded flaps seated into a housing? A. Lift. B. Swing. C. Non-slam. D. Spring. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Non-slam. Flashcard 196. With respect to water analysis, the smaller the number on the pH scale, the more blank the water. A. Turbid. B. Neutral. C. Acidic. D. Alkaline. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Acidic. Flashcard 197. Which of the following should the pipe end from a CPVC pipe to be prepared? A. Bevel and clean. B. Deburr and solder. C. Deburr and clean. D. Deburr and bevel. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Deburr and bevel. Flashcard 198. What sequence of plumbing procedures applies before a plumbing system is covered? A. Install, test, inspect, and obtain a permit. B. Obtain a permit, install, inspect, and test. C. Install, test, obtain a permit, and inspect. D. Obtain a permit, install, test, and inspect. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Obtain a permit, install, test, and inspect. Flashcard 199. Medical gas piping is most often joined by A. Flared joints. B. Compression joints. C. Lead-free solder. D. Silver braze. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Silver braze. Flashcard 200. When installing lines for gas appliances, the depth of dirt or drip pocket must be a minimum of blank inches, or the diameter of the pipe it serves, whichever is greater. A. 3B. 5C. 4D. 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 3. Flashcard 201. The acronym USGPM stands for A. US gallons per minute. B. Liters per minute. C. Usable gallons per minute. D. Imperial gallons per hour. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. US gallons per minute. Flashcard 202. What type of piping sends water through a hot water heater? A. Manometer. B. Supply. C. None of the above. D. Diverter. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Supply. Flashcard 203. Which of the following metals is easily cut with oxy-fuel process? A. Aluminum. B. High alloy steel. C. Cast iron. D. Low carbon steel. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Low carbon steel. Flashcard 204. What color should the glue be that is used for ABS pipe? A. Yellow. B. Clear. C. Black. D. Blue. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Yellow. Flashcard 205. When flow controls are installed on gas piping, they blank. A. Are used to keep operating pressure lower than the supply pressure. B. Must be equipped with a leak limiting device. C. Must be accessible. D. Must not contain sediment traps. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Are used to keep operating pressure lower than the supply pressure. Flashcard 206. When selecting the proper telescopic expansion joint, it is critical that the axial movement is at least A. Completely restricted and eliminated. B. Equal to the maximum pipe movement. C. 2 times the diameter of the pipe. D. Limited by anchors at every bend. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Equal to the maximum pipe movement. Flashcard 207. A flat roof measuring 20 m by 26 m with a horizontal wall on one side extended up 6 m by 20 m. Size the circular rainwater leader if the local 15-minute rainfall intensity is 24 mm. A. 6B. 7C. 2D. 9. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 6. Flashcard 208. An underground water service is installed using truss blocks. What additional method could be used to restrain the joints? A. Flared coupling. B. Companion flange. C. Continuous rotting. D. Compression coupling. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Continuous rotting. Flashcard 209. Where is 8 in? Class 1500 non-pressure asbestos cement sewer pipe allowed for installation? A. Underground in a potable water system. B. Underground under a building. C. Above ground in a venting system. D. Above ground inside a building. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Underground under a building. Flashcard 210. Which of the following term describes a fitting formed by the use of pressure or force and by heating in a die? A. Bronze. B. Cast brass. C. Bar stock. D. Wrought copper. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Wrought copper. Flashcard 211. Which of the following types of materials would be used commonly for mop sinks and shower bases? A. Cultured or composite surfaces. B. Terrazzo precast. C. Plastic. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Terrazzo precast. Flashcard 212. One of the measurements that is used to determine the strength of sewage is A. The total suspended solids. B. Weight. C. Volume of sewage. D. Medical oxygen content. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. The total suspended solids. Flashcard 213. What size of drain in inches will usually be installed for a typical residential clothes washer? A. 2B. 1C. 1.5D. 2.5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 2. Flashcard 214. Close nipples can be used on natural gas or propane piping systems. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 215. When gas changes to a liquid, the process is called A. MBHB. Combustion. C. Thermal mass. D. Condensation. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Condensation. Flashcard 216. A length of 3 in. ABS pipe is to be installed between two 45-degree elbows. The center-to-center dimension between the 45-degree elbows is 551/2 and the fitting allowance for a 45-degree elbow is 15/16. What is the cut length of the ABS pipe required? A. 52/1/2B. 54/3/16C. 55/1/2D. 52/7/8. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 52/7/8. Flashcard 217. A peak flow rate of 24 US GPM is equivalent to blank imperial GPM. A. 24B. 28.8C. 15.6D. 20. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 20. Flashcard 218. Porous media where the grains of the media are cemented together, such as sandstone, are considered blank. A. Consolidated. B. Saturated. C. Unconsolidated. D. Confined. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Consolidated. Flashcard 219. What are cleansing or surface active agents? A. Preservatives. B. Enhancer. C. Moisturizer. D. Surfactants. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Surfactants. Flashcard 220. In a full sectional view, the cutting plane A. divides the part fully. B. divides the part into 4 equal portions and indicates the viewing direction. C. is passing through the part along the center line on its full diameter and indicates the viewing direction. D. passing through the object at right angles to each other along the center lines of the object. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. is passing through the part along the center line on its full diameter and indicates the viewing direction. Flashcard 221. It is the blank responsibility to ensure that pollutants or contaminants do not enter the potable water system from the point of entry and include all of the water system in a residence. A. Plumbers. B. Plumbing inspectors. C. Consumers. D. Engineers. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Consumers. Flashcard 222. Which type of trap is required when installing a standard close-coupled WCs? A. Drum. B. Indirect. C. Integral. D. Removable. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Integral. Flashcard 223. The vertical lift from the water pump to the point of use is blank head. A. Lift. B. Pressure. C. Discharge. D. Suction. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Discharge. Flashcard 224. What is the purpose of the anode rod in a water heater? A. To increase gas efficiency. B. To reduce corrosion of the tank. C. To push cold water to the bottom of the tank. D. To assist the glass or enamel to bond to the steel tank. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. To reduce corrosion of the tank. Flashcard 225. What is the advantage of remove detailed sections? A. Can be detached from the object for a truer representation of the part. B. To show hidden component that cannot be seen from the right side view. C. To show hidden component that cannot be seen from the front view. D. That the section part can be detached from the object. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. That the section part can be detached from the object. Flashcard 226. The blank interceptor introduces a chemical catalyst that breaks down the grease and eliminates the need to handle the grease. A. Conventional. B. Oil. C. Automatic drain off. D. Enzyme. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Enzyme. Flashcard 227. A building's roof measuring 90 m by 50 m would require how many flow-controlled roof drains? A. 8B. 12C. 6D. 10. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 6. Flashcard 228. The valve that closes when the flow in a pipeline is reversed is the A. Check B. Relief C. Gate D. Butterfly. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Check. Flashcard 229. Where should you locate a fin tube radiator within a room? A. Under a window. B. Doesn't matter. C. Where space permits. D. Homeowner's preference. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Under a window. Flashcard 230. Urinals in a restaurant are permitted in lieu of water closets, provided the number of urinals is no more than which of the following? A. 2/3 of the required number. B. 1/2 of the required number. C. 1/3 of the required number. D. 1/5 of the required number. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 2/3 of the required number. Flashcard 231. A waste pipe is described as a pipe that carries the waste from fixtures not used for human waste. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 232. Which of the following is not a general classification of water springs? A. Gravel. B. Seepage. C. Fissure. D. Tubular. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Gravel. Flashcard 233. Valves, piping, and fittings for oxygen service, according to plumbing code? A. Should be cleaned thoroughly with a solution of gasoline and kerosene. B. Should be cleaned with a warm solution of sodium carbonate. C. Do not need to be cleaned prior to installation. D. Should be cleaned with paint thinner. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Do not need to be cleaned prior to installation. Flashcard 234. 257. A weak carbonic acid is formed when groundwater absorbs A. Carbon dioxide. B. Oxygen. C. Hydrogen. D. Silt. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Carbon dioxide. Flashcard 235. Which of the following valves is becoming the most commonly used in all flow applications? A. Gate. B. Globe. C. Butterfly. D. Ball. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Ball. Flashcard 236. An activated carbon filter used for water treatment can reduce blank chlorine in the water. A. Hypo. B. Radical. C. Free. D. Heavy. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Free. Flashcard 237. The principle of water operation is A. Sodium cycle ion exchange B. Sedimentation C. Reverse osmosis D. Filtration. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Sodium cycle ion exchange. Flashcard 238. When performing a water analysis, the term parts per million is used to describe how many blank of a substance are in 1 liter water. A. Ounces B. Milligrams C. Kilograms D. Grains. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Milligrams. Flashcard 239. Which of the C's drills is most suitable for enlarging an existing hole? A. Jobber drill B. Micro drill C. Gun drill D. Core drill. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Core drill. Flashcard 240. In order for a belt drive furnace motor to achieve different speeds, the circumference of the pulley needs to be enlarged. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 241. Name the type of nipple knot commonly manufactured. A. 1/2x2 1/2b. Shoulder C. Close D. Toe. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Toe. Flashcard 242. What are short rod-shaped bacteria that produce diseases such as tetanus? A. Bacilli B. Cocci C. Diplococci D. Streptococci. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Bacilli. Flashcard 243. The primary function of a septic chamber is to A. Contain the aerobic bacteria B. Clarify the raw sewage C. House the bowel and siphon D. Contain the discharge pump. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Clarify the raw sewage. Flashcard 244. If an appliance is moved from sea level to high altitude, the appliance's input rating must be derated by blank percent. A. 10B. 15C. 12D. 5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 10. Flashcard 245. The NPC advises that if a fixture is discharging clear water, waste, or sewage that has a temperature in excess of blank Celsius, a means of cooling must be supplied. A. 75B. 77C. 49D. 87. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 75. Flashcard 246. A 11/2 in circuit vent is serving a branch with 11 WCs connected to it. A relief vent is located downstream of the most downstream WC. If an additional circuit vent is required, where could it be connected to the branch? A. Between the 5th and 6th most upstream WCs. B. Between the 2 most downstream WCs. C. Between the 2nd and 3rd most upstream WCs. D. An additional circuit vent is not required. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Between the 5th and 6th most upstream WCs. Flashcard 247. A plumbing vent serving a typical basement 3-piece plumbing rough-in has a developed length of 12 meters. What is the name and minimum size of this vent? A. 11/2 continuous vent. B. 11/circuit vent. C. 11/2 circuit vent. D. 11/4 continuous vent. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 11/2 continuous vent. Flashcard 248. Which letters do not designate pipe? A. XXSB, SC, XSD, XL. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. XL. Flashcard 249. The minimum size of water line for single-family dwellings is blank mm. A. 20 B, 30 C, 25 D, 35. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 20. Flashcard 250. The air filter for a typical forced air heating system is installed between the A. combustion air fan and the cold air return. B. blower fan and the combustion air fan. C. blower fan and the cold air return plenum. D. blower fan and the heat exchanger. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. blower fan and the cold air return plenum. Flashcard 251. If there is pressure of 30 psi at street level, how high will the pressure lift water contained in a 2-in vertical water pipe? A. 70.85 B, 67.40 C, 69.12 D, 74.20. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 69.12. Flashcard 252. What must be determined prior to selecting a hydronic circulator? A. height of building and pipe size. B. height of building and flow rate. C. system resistance and flow rate. D. system resistance and pipe size. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. system resistance and flow rate. Flashcard 253. A 3-piece basement plumbing rough-in includes a water closet, bathtub, and lavatory. Determine the minimum size of wet vent to be installed. A. 60 mm B, 50 mm C, 55 mm D, 70 mm. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 50 mm. Flashcard 254. When grinding a chisel, a blank degree blade angle for cutting steel is used. A. 70 B, 80 C, 50 D, 60. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 60. Flashcard 255. When setting a wall-hung water closet, which installation procedure ensures a watertight seal on the waste connection? A. Horn wax seal is positioned and compressed by adjustable nipple. B. Backup nuts and washers are set 1/16 past wall C. Chair carrier is positioned close to the finished wall D. Adjustable nipple is set for compression of gasket. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Adjustable nipple is set for compression of gasket. Flashcard 256. The abbreviation FAN plus NAT used in tables for establishing the capacity of vents means: A. They are both fan assist and draft hood equipped appliances, and there is no depressurization of the building. B. They are both fan assist and draft hood equipped appliances, and there may be depressurization of the building up to 5 Pa. C. All appliances are draft hood equipped and there is no depressurization of the building. D. All appliances have draft hoods and there may be depressurization of the building up to 5 Pa. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. They are both fan assist and draft hood equipped appliances, and there is no depressurization of the building. Flashcard 257. 282 blank bacterial activity occurs primarily in the sludge and scum layers of the septic tank. A. Septic. B. Aerobic. C. Anaerobic. D. Microbial. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Anaerobic. Flashcard 258. When laying out the tubing for a hydronic system, the supply line entering the room should always be placed in the A. Warmest location. B. Along an exterior wall. C. Along the inside wall. D. Center of the room. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Along an exterior wall. Flashcard 259. Some furnaces are equipped with a fan/limit control. The control will also have a white button on the front lower left corner. This white button is used to A. Permanently turn the fan off. B. Adjust the on/off temperatures of the limit. C. Override the limit control. D. Manually turn the fan on. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Manually turn the fan on. Flashcard 260. Pyrex glass pipe has a heat resistance to blank Fa 550 B, 450 C, 670 D, 375. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 450. Flashcard 261. When fastening hydronic tubing to rebar, it should be fastened every blank feet along the straight runs. A. 4B, 5C, 3D, 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3. Flashcard 262. When installing a reduced pressure principal backflow preventer RP, what is required to complete the piping installation? A. A pressure gauge on the upstream side of the device. B. An air gap fitting on the relief port. C. An air gap immediately above a floor drain. D. A direct waste connection to a floor drain. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. An air gap fitting on the relief port. Flashcard 263. Cleaning a tool with solvent causes it to become quite dry. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 264. When using a Hilti powder-actuated fastening tool, the device fails to fire when the trigger is pulled. The first thing you should do is A. Depress the trigger again. B. Remove the cartridge. C. Keep the tool in position and wait 30 seconds. D. Inspect the magazine. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Keep the tool in position and wait 30 seconds. Flashcard 265. The main function of a low water cutoff LWCO on a boiler is to A. Decrease the burner output slightly when water levels are lower. B. Add more water when levels decrease. C. Turn on an alarm when the water level is low. D. Prevent the main burner from firing if water levels are low. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Prevent the main burner from firing if water levels are low. Flashcard 266. Left-hand thread on an acetylene fitting is usually indicated by A. The nut being red. B. The line around the nut. C. The initials LH stamped on the nut. D. The nut being green. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. The line around the nut. Flashcard 267. A grease interceptor is equipped with a slash and blank that prevents the passage of sewer gas. A. Orifice plate. B. Deep seal P-trap. C. Removable baffles. D. Clean out. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Deep seal P-trap. Flashcard 268. A gear pump is a positive displacement pump and must be installed with A. Pressure reducing valve. B. Pressure tank. C. Pressure relief valve. D. Pressure switch. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Pressure relief valve. Flashcard 269. When using oxy-fuel cutting and welding equipment, a flashback arrestor protects the operator from A. Electrical shock. B. Bright flashes. C. Material blowback. D. Flame traveling into the hoses. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Flame traveling into the hoses. Flashcard 270. A second-class gas fitter can only work on gas equipment with inputs up to and including blank BTU. A. 500,000. B. 200,000. C. 300,000. D. 400,000. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 400,000. Flashcard 271. There is a slight increase in gas temperature as it moves along the pipe due to A. Viscosity. B. Pressure. C. Venturi effect. D. Friction. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Friction. Flashcard 272. Which manufacturing method produces the strongest pipe? A. Butt weld. B. Extruded. C. Lap weld. D. Spiral weld. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Extruded. Flashcard 273. Before starting the layout of a residential irrigation system, you should determine the A. Sizing of piping available in that area. B. Type of soil in the yard. C. Number of heads the homeowner wishes. D. Static water pressure. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Static water pressure. Flashcard 274. A device that is installed to help remove suspended particles from a water well is called a blank. A. Water switch. B. Sand interceptor. C. Reservoir tank. D. Pressure tank. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Sand interceptor. Flashcard 275. Where the foundation drainage will connect into sanitary drain, a backwater valve and trap are not required. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is false. Flashcard 276. A drive shoe is usually connected to the bottom of the A. Well casing. B. Well screen. C. Drill pipe. D. Borehole. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Well casing. Flashcard 277. What is the minimum space required around the handle of a fire hose cabinet valve for proper operation? A. 2B. 3C. 1D. 1.5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 1. Flashcard 278. Horizontal offset piping used for expansion purpose should be installed at minimum of blank meters. A. 3.1 B. 2.5 C. 2.7 D. 1.5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 1.5. Flashcard 279. An outside fresh air supply must be installed at least blank inches above finished grade level. A. 6B. 24C. 18D. 12. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 12. Flashcard 280. Which products do manufacturers have to supply an MSDS for? A. Products used for sanitation purposes. B. All products sold. C. Products that contain chemicals. D. Products that have the potential to cause harm. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. All products sold. Flashcard 281. The water retention of sandy clay is A. Very low. B. High. C. Moderately low. D. Moderately high. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. High. Flashcard 282. What is the maximum practical lift of a shallow well jet pump? A. 25B, 29C, 33.9D. 22. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 25. Flashcard 283. An interior finish of all bathrooms on a 4-story office building must have a flame spread rating no more than which of the following? A. 300B, 150C, 50D. 25. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 150. Flashcard 284. What should be worn to prevent your clothing from being stained while handling products and chemicals? A. Gloves B. Poncho C. Smock D. Scrubs. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Smock. Flashcard 285. This is the term for a decorative metal trim shield or flange located underneath the faucet handle. It covers the hole in the wall or fixtures as well as the faucet stem. A. Escutcheon B. Fleur C. Dovetail D. Flange. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Escutcheon. Flashcard 286. A Category 1 mid-efficient furnace will generally have a blank inch vent connector attached to the flue collar. A. 4. B. 5C. 6D. 3. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 4. Flashcard 287. What kind of plywood can be safely used for the platform of a scaffold? A. 1/2 in Douglas fit supported every 4 FTB. 3/4 in Douglas fit supported every 4 FTC. 3/4 in plywood supported every 4 FTD. 1/2 in plywood supported every 4 FT. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 3/4 in Douglas fit supported every 4 FT. Flashcard 288. Which of the following does a dotted line on a print mean? A. A center line B. A hidden line C. A section line D. An object line. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. A hidden line. Flashcard 289. Which of the following materials is used to make a threaded joint between a galvanized steel piping and copper tubing? A. Copper extension fitting B. Galvanized extension PC. Brass male adapter D. Dresser coupling. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Brass male adapter. Flashcard 290. A sump pump should be serviced at least blank times a year. A. 9B. 3C. 12D. 6. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 3. Flashcard 291. MJ pipe is a term used to describe what? A. Plain-ended DWV cast iron piping B. Grooved iron piping C. hub and spigot iron piping. D. Flared iron piping. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Plain-ended DWV cast iron piping. Flashcard 292. What does the abbreviation SB stand for when found on a pipe? A. Steam pump. B. Steam pressure. C. Safe pack. D. Soft port. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Steam pressure. Flashcard 293. A cast iron baseboard can be configured with fins on the rear to A. Promote radiant heat. B. Provide spacing from the wall. C. Keep the unit balanced. D. Promote convection. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Promote convection. Flashcard 294. A combined building sewer has a hydraulic load of 345 fixture units and 280 liters of rainwater. What is the minimum size of pipe required for a slope of 1 in 100? A. 12. B. 10. C. 6. 8. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 8. Flashcard 295. If 4 shower heads are installed along a wall, what would the minimum measurement be between the 2 outermost heads? A. 750 mm. B. 2.25 m. C. 1.8 m. D. 1,200 mm. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 2.25 m. Flashcard 296. What is the space or gap called that is installed in piping for an ice maker? A. Air hole. B. Air break. C. Air slot. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Air break. Flashcard 297. Installing a hydronic unit heater in a residential location in an attached garage requires that precautions be taken to prevent freeze-up. This could be accomplished by A. All of the above. B. Adding glycol to the water. C. Installing a wild loop. D. Constant circulation of water. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. All of the above. Flashcard 298. When determining the location to install a condensing boiler, what must be considered? A. Central to heating units. B. Near a floor drain. C. Homeowner's preference. D. Existing vent location. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Near a floor drain. Flashcard 299. An interceptor with a water seal of blank mm may also serve as a trap. A. 25. B. 38. C. 30. D. 20. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 38. Flashcard 300. The indoor design temperature of a residence is determined by the A. Provincial location. B. Ceiling height. C. Number of windows. D. Occupants. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Occupants. Flashcard 301. A well with a watertight casing requires a minimum standoff distance from a septic system of A. 25 mb, 10 mc, 5 md, 15 m. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 15 m. Flashcard 302. A water distribution system that is used when municipalities need large quantities of water and there are heavy demands put on the system is the blank distribution system. A. Grid. B. Arterial loop. C. Tree. D. Dead-end configuration. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Arterial loop. Flashcard 303. A plumber must ensure that the maximum change of direction between cleanouts for a building sewer is blank degrees. A. 60 B, 90 C, 120 D, 45. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 45. Flashcard 304. What are your customers that you service on a regular basis called? A. Loyal customers. B. Client base. C. Elite clients. D. Frequent shoppers. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Client base. Flashcard 305. Which piping arrangement must be used when terminating the regeneration discharge line serving a water softener? A. Indirectly to a dual check valve on the softener head. B. Indirectly to an approved drainage termination. C. Directly to the bypass valve around softener head. D. Directly to an approved drainage termination. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Indirectly to an approved drainage termination. Flashcard 306. Two back-to-back water closets are roughed in at 254 mm 10 in from the finished walls. If the partition is 125 mm 5 in hollow tile and the wall finish is 9 mm 3/4 in plaster, what is the cc distance of the sleeves? A. 652 mm 25 3/4 in. B. 335 mm 13 1/4 in. C. 698 mm 27 1/2 in. D. 671 mm 26 1/2 in. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 671 mm 26 1/2 in. Flashcard 307. When pipes are vibrating, this is most likely caused by A. Small leak drawing air into the pipes. B. High water pressure. C. Loose fittings. D. Low water pressure. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Small leak drawing air into the pipes. Flashcard 308. The maximum theoretical lift of a suction pump at sea level is blank feet. A. 100 B, 12 C, 25 D, 34. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 34. Flashcard 309. A blank is a device that prevents cycling of a water pump. A. Pressure tank. B. Pitless adapter. C. Pressure switch. D. Foot valve. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Pressure tank. Flashcard 310. Which of the following valves makes the fluid make nearly 490-degree turns? A. Gate. B. Plug. C. Ball. D. Globe. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Globe. Flashcard 311. What type of fitting is used to join copper with galvanized piping? A. Solder joint. B. Dielectric union. C. Coupling. D. Lead solder. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Dielectric union. Flashcard 312. Chlorinated polyvinyl chloride is specially blended to withstand temperatures up to blank Fa. 212B, 140C, 180D, 222. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 212. Flashcard 313. A direct vent terminal cannot be located above a meter regulator within blank feet horizontally of the vertical center line of the regulator vent outlet. A. 7B, 2C, 3D, 5. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3. Flashcard 314. On a pressure-reducing valve, if no pressure exists on the low-pressure portion of the valve is A. In the mid-position. B. Fully open. C. Fully closed. D. Broken. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Fully open. Flashcard 315. Tube cutters are capable of cuts from 1/8 inch to blank inches. A. 8B, 4C, 12D, 6. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 6. Flashcard 316. When roughing in for a domestic water closet, the flange should be installed blank mm to the center from the finished wall. A. 250B, 400C, 350D, 300. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 300. Flashcard 317. Which of the following describes the term thermoplastic? A. The reshaping or reforming of plastic pipe into different shapes. B. A plastic pipe that cannot be reshaped or formed. C. The ability for a plastic pipe to be joined with metallic pipe. D. The thinning of the wall of plastic pipe due to a harder object pushing on the wall. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. The reshaping or reforming of plastic pipe into different shapes. Flashcard 318. When pumping hot water through appliances for sanitizing purposes, the temperature should be maintained at a fixed temperature for at least blank minutes. A. 30B, 2C, 5D, 18. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 5. Flashcard 319. Relating to wet venting, in order to ensure good air venting when the pipe is in a horizontal position, the maximum liquid level in the pipe should be 1/3 to blank. A. 3/4 B. 1/4 C. 1/2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 1/2. Flashcard 320. To perform an accurate heat loss calculation you need A. To know where the house is being built B. The type of floor covering in each room C. A complete set of building drawing and specifications D. The total number of windows and exterior door. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. A complete set of building drawing and specifications. Flashcard 321. When installing roof drains and leaders and provision is made for expansion, using an expansion joint, the expansion joint should be within blank feet of the roof. A. 5B. 4C. 3D. 6. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 5. Flashcard 322. How many tube pipes does it take to equal the volume capacity of a 6-pipe? A. 5B. 2C. 9D. 7. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 9. Flashcard 323. The flame rollout switches in a gas furnace would be located on the A. Top of the blower assembly B. Side of the combustion air proof switch C. Bottom of the burner box D. Top and slash or sides of the burner box. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Top and slash or sides of the burner box. Flashcard 324. Pick the largest wire listed below. A. #20B. #16C. #18D. #14. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. #14. Flashcard 325. When installing underground sewer piping, the piping should be supported A. Throughout its entire length B. For the first 2 meters of length C. For the last 2 meters of length D. For the first 3 meters of length. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Throughout its entire length. Flashcard 326. When a well pump turns on as soon as a faucet is used, the most likely problem is A. Foot valve not holding B. Defective pressure switch C. Pump impeller is worn out D. Waterlogged pressure tank. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Waterlogged pressure tank. Flashcard 327. When chemicals are added to a hydronic heating system, which device or method is used to protect the potable water against backflow? A. RP device B. PVB device C. Air gap D. DCVA. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. RP device. Flashcard 328. A copper pipe is installed in a location that is normally -10 degrees Fahrenheit. Under normal operation, the pipe will heat up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. If the length of pipe from the anchor to the elbow is 200 feet, the expected thermal movement would be blank A. 5.93 B, 4.45 C, 3.84 D, 5.70. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 5.93. Flashcard 329. For the most efficient operation, where is the outside sensor of the indoor/outdoor control installed? A. On a north wall just below the soffit. B. On a west wall with exposure to sun. C. In the attic next to the ventilation grill. D. At least 300 mm away from an outside light. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. On a north wall just below the soffit. Flashcard 330. How much does 135 cubic feet of water weigh? A. 8,025.5 pounds. B. 8,437.5 pounds. C. 7,875 pounds. D. 8,150.26. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 8,437.5 pounds. Flashcard 331. C-clamps are recommended for attachment to flange beams where the thickness to the flange does not exceed blank inch. A. 3/4 B. 1 C. 1/2 D. 1/2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 3/4. Flashcard 332. An example of an automatic sprinkler system is A. Dry system. B. Reaction system. C. All of the above. D. Wet system. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. All of the above. Flashcard 333. Gas piping installed in a laundry chute blank. A. Is required to be installed with only vertical pipe sections. B. Must be protected from damage in the normal course of use of the chute. C. Must be secured at maximum intervals of 6 feet. D. Is a code violation. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Is a code violation. Flashcard 334. Thermostats are equipped with anticipators to A. Power the gas valve. B. Narrow the temperature differential in a room. C. Cool the thermostat during operation. D. Anticipate when the heat should be turned on. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Narrow the temperature differential in a room. Flashcard 335. If an appliance has blank thermal efficiency, the heat from the combustion products are not effectively removed. A. Low. B. High. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Low. Flashcard 336. If the zone valve drive motor fails to operate, the plumber must A. Replace the defective motor. B. Recalibrate the heat anticipator. C. Add glycol to the system. D. Increase the system pressure. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Replace the defective motor. Flashcard 337. Gray water is a type of wastewater that comes from A. Toilets and garbage disposal. B. Toilets and bathtubs. C. Toilets. D. Sink, showers, and bathtubs. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Sink, showers, and bathtubs. Flashcard 338. What is a Class C fire? A. Gasoline. B. Ordinary combustions like wood, paper, etc. C. Electrical equipment, motors, switches. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Electrical equipment, motors, switches. Flashcard 339. What are chemical germicides formulated for use on skin and are registered and regulated by the FDA? A. Chelating soaps. B. Antiseptic. C. Antimicrobial soaps. D. Asymptomatics. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Antiseptics. Flashcard 340. One trap arm may serve a total of how many P-traps? A. 1B. 3C. 4D. 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 1. Flashcard 341. What sized P-trap is needed for a kitchen sink? A. 1.75 in B. 1.5 in C. 1 in D. 2 in. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 1.5 in. Flashcard 342. On a private domestic water system, what would the usual cut-in and cut-out pressures be set at? A. 138 kPa and 207 kPa/20 psi and 30 psi. B. 207 kPa and 345 kPa/30 psi and 50 psi. C. 113 kPa and 241 kPa/15 psi and 35 psi. D. 241 kPa and 380 kPa/35 psi and 55 psi. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 207 kPa and 345 kPa/30 psi and 50 psi. Flashcard 343. What diameter is a lavatory drain tailpiece? A. 1/1/4 in B. 2 in C. 2/1/2 in D. 1/1/2 in. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 1/1/4 in. Flashcard 344. What determines the minimum size of the suction pipe of a well pump? A. Size of the inlet opening of the pump. B. Distance from the pump to the water in the well. C. Size of the discharge opening in the pump. D. Size of the pump cylinder. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Size of the inlet opening of the pump. Flashcard 345. What is the purpose of the set on a hacksaw blade? A. To allow the hacksaw teeth to be reground easily. B. To strengthen the blade along its entire length. C. To allow the blade to be easily mounted in the hacksaw frame. B. To increase the width of the curve, providing clearance for the blade body. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. To increase the width of the curve, providing clearance for the blade body. Flashcard 346. What is the pumping rate of a pressure system that has a drawdown of 5.6 gallons and a cycle time of 55 seconds? A. 6.1 gallons per minute. B. 5.13 gallons per minute. C. 11.6 gallons per minute. D. 8.4 gallons per minute. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 6.1 gallons per minute. Flashcard 347. In most cases, piping from a hot water tank to a fixture less than blank meters away will operate satisfactorily. A. 30 B. 45 C. 30 D. 40. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 30. Flashcard 348. Which of the following is the correct method to attach cast fittings to a threaded steel pipe? A. Apply thread compound to male thread and tighten with pipe wrench. B. Apply thread compound to female thread and tighten with spanner wrench. C. Apply Teflon tape to female thread and tighten with pipe wrench. D. Apply Teflon tape to male thread and tighten with spanner wrench. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. Apply thread compound to male thread and tighten with pipe wrench. Flashcard 349. The blank will remove the air from the water as it leaves the boiler. A. Circulator. B. Boiler scoop. C. Manual air vent. D. Diaphragm tank. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Boiler scoop. Flashcard 350. A green wire not connected to electrical equipment could mean that the system is using isolating equipment. B. The system is not grounded properly. C. A ground fault interrupter has replaced the ground. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. The system is not grounded properly. Flashcard 351. What is the principal function of the expansion tank in a hot water system? A. It provides the necessary space for the air required in the system. B. It collects the air in the system, thus preventing airlock of the system while in operation. C. It acts as a safety chamber in case of overfiring of the boiler. D. It allows the volume of the water in the system to change to maintain working pressure. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. It allows the volume of the water in the system to change to maintain working pressure. Flashcard 352. When installing fiberglass insulation, strapping must be placed no more than blank mm apart. A. 450 B. 150 C. 600 D. 300. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 450. Flashcard 353. Garbage grinders are not recommended for installation where the treatment of sewage involves the use of a private sewage disposal system. True or false? Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is true. Flashcard 354. What is the purpose of the notched wheel rollers on a copper tube cutter? A. To permit the cutting of tubing close to a flare. B. Flex slightly and prevent the crushing of a tube. C. Make a space for cutting materials to collect. D. Allow room for the pipe to displace when cut. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. To permit the cutting of tubing close to a flare. Flashcard 355. Which of the following information is not required to be stamped on a propane cylinder? A. Date of manufacture. B. Water capacity. C. Serial number. D. Cylinder wall thickness. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Cylinder wall thickness. Flashcard 356. A minimum of blank shut-off valves is required when constructing a water bypass for a water meter installation. A. 4B. 1C. 6D. 3. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 3. Flashcard 357. The purpose of stadia hairs is to allow vertical crosshairs to be seen. B. They serve no useful purpose. C. Calculate grade. D. Measure distance. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Measure distance. Flashcard 358. The recommended maximum limit of iron in drinking water is blank mg/L. A. 2.0. B. 0.1. C. 0.3. D. 3.0. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 0.3. Flashcard 359. When fixtures are horizontally wet vented, where must the continuous vent be connected? A. Midway between the first and last fixture. B. In front of the first fixture. C. Between the two most upstream fixtures. D. Between the two most downstream fixtures. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Between the two most upstream fixtures. Flashcard 360. A strainer is installed on the blank of a pressure-reducing valve. A. High pressure side. B. Bypass branch portion. C. Low pressure side. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. High pressure side. Flashcard 361. The main problem with standard galvanized pressure tanks that are used on private water supply systems is A. They are expensive. B. The air in the tanks absorbs the water. C. They are very complicated to set up. D. The water in the tanks absorbs the air. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. The water in the tanks absorbs the air. Flashcard 362. A weak carbonic acid is formed when groundwater absorbs blank. A. Oxygen. B. Carbon dioxide. C. Hydrogen. D. Silt. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Carbon dioxide. Flashcard 363. Confined spaces are hazardous environments because they usually have A. Explosive atmospheres, B. Flood hazards, C. Limited room for maneuverability, D. Restricted access and egress. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. Restricted access and egress. Flashcard 364. All sewage holding tanks must be designed to withstand a minimum of blank mm of earth cover. A. 400 B. 600 C. 1600 D. 2000. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 600. Flashcard 365. When large meters are installed in a vault, provision should be made for at least blank inches of headspace from the highest point on the meter to the vault. A. 20B, 24C, 18D, 36. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. 24. Flashcard 366. How many forms of lead pipe are used in the piping trades? A. 4B, 5C, 3D, 2. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3. Flashcard 367. Underground piping installed in a dug trench should be covered with appropriate backfill to a height of A. 300 mm B, 150 mm C, 600 mm D, 100 mm. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is A. 300 mm. Flashcard 368. In MEG gas systems, the exhaust from vacuum pumps must be discharged into the following: A. Relief vent, B. Indirect drain, C. Outdoors, D. Designated receptor. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. Outdoors. Flashcard 369. Which of the following flux should be used with aluminum? A. Muriatic acid, B. Kester special, C. Rosin, D. Zinc oxide. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is B. Kester special. Flashcard 370. How many inch/e's of unthreaded pipe must be exposed when a pipe protrudes through a ceiling or wall? A. 1.75 B, 2C, 1.5 D, 1. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. 1. Flashcard 371. A bellows or bimetal disc used as a temperature relief device operates opens at a temperature of approximately blank F. A. 325 B, 175 C, 210 D, 265. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 210. Flashcard 372. A 1/2 extracted tea may be formed from A. 1/2 type KB, 1/2 type LC, 3/4 type KD, 3/4 type M. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is C. 3/4 type K. Flashcard 373. What piping installation would require a fire donut? A. Cast iron passing through fire-rated wall. B. Ductile iron passing through a fire-rated floor. C. DWV copper passing through fire-rated floor. D. ABS piping passing through fire-rated ceiling. Think of the answer before the reveal. The answer is D. ABS piping passing through fire-rated ceiling.